are so new and today, and we make tweets more relevant.
So new today. We have all these connotations of what we could mean by what so new today is. We've got so what, so you, so far, so hot, so not, so close, so near, so far. So yeah, probably go. Yeah, so good. So what we're doing, we're gamifying news through social platforms. But which platform? Twitter. Why Twitter? Twitter is constrained to 140 characters, but also it's actually grown in the last 6 months by 14 to 16%, whereas other platforms such as Facebook have declined. So this is our app. We've got it running on an Android device right now. It's built in web technologies, so it can go on most mobile platforms and also on the web. So what does it do? Well, it takes news headlines from, at the moment, from the BBC, and then it scrapes Twitter to find relevant tweets relating to that headline, as you can see here, and here, and here. But the best thing about it is this little award that people can get for getting their tweet higher up in the stream. And this is how it's done. The whole idea is you want to try and gamify getting your tweet up the rankings by doing certain actions. And you do this by continually using the app, but also by getting people to then comment on that tweet, basically. Furthermore, we have this other option where you can see tweets based on the sentiment, if it's positive or negative. As you can see here, we've got one that's negative in red and one positive in green. But then we looked at this other thing about connecting tweets that may or may not be possibly connected. So if someone wrote a question, the system will be able to find answers to that question based on the words used and, again, the main headline story. So what is it? So basically it's a framework. It started off to be one centralized application. It's now a decentralized framework for anyone to use.
So what's the need? Well, I work in a news website. I work on the BBC news website. When I first heard this idea, I knew it would be useful to us and other media organisations because we really struggle with reaction, with reflecting reaction. And one of the reasons is because people don't really have normal people don't have a motivation to comment on stories. We've taken comments off most of our stories, but we don't have anything like this to do a lot of the work for us, and then to make it playful so that the audience are pushing up things up the ranking. So I think media organisations would find this useful. So who's the target audience? Well, it's not this guy. It's 18 to 35-year-olds. They are, research shows they are most likely to use Twitter, and it's growing within that age range as well. It's also the playful element of scoring people's tweets is attractive to younger people, and also it's for people who don't use Twitter at all and want to know what people are saying without having to use Twitter. So how much will it cost to the end user? Well, it will cost nothing. That's because research shows that there's a trend towards apps not costing, people paying less and less, or not thinking they shouldn't pay anything at all for an app. So instead,
we're going to white label it. And the reason being is then we can then use the framework, so any other media outlet can then put their mark on it. So we did look at these local media outlets, for example. So we'll take the Lancaster Guardian, for example. If they have a Twitter, they have an RSS feed, and put it into the app, it'll collect tweets on those RSS feeds. They could brand it with their logo, their colour scheme, etc., etc. We would then have a 3-tier license to sell it to the content provider. The first tier would be free, so it would be still in our branded, and it had advertisements. But the adverts would be quite playful in the sense of they'd start at the top, and the more the user interacts with the content, the advert would flow down the tweets, eventually going to the bottom. So advertisers might think, well, hang on a minute, if I'm at the bottom of the tweets, how am I going to get recognized? Well, for it to be at the bottom of the content, a lot of users would have had to interact with that content, thus more exposure. I'm going to skip out the next, well, we've got 2 tiers and then payment ones.
And thanks a lot.